So who do you lean on when your possibilities have ceased? That's where I found myself. And that's why I look at Psalm 1 and I say, why do you lie to me, God? How can you tell me that if I plant myself, I will prosper in all seasons? Have you ever been there? Have you ever written a grant? You know the ones where you wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, okay, God is giving me this, right? And you go start talking. You build a coalition of people. You sitting around the table, and you're like, okay, this is the one that will change the world, right? You are just ready. And then a few weeks later, a few months later, you get that email, rejected. Like, wow. Did I not hear God? Did I miss something? We have to remind ourselves that the things that we envision are not God. But sometimes we find ourselves in places where the dreams that we hold, we turn those into God. And we miss out on the connection to God. Remember, I said that I learned that the God that I created was insufficient. Well, let me tell you another story. So I found myself, once I learned that I can't create a good God, I turned to works. Because the scripture just says, if you do these things, well, I'll just make those things my God. I'll just always get up on time. I'll just always read enough scriptures. I'll always talk to the right people. But in the midst of doing the right thing, I still sometimes fail. And so it turned out that the God of my good works was insufficient. I said, okay, what else does the scripture talk about? It talks about being planted, about being rooted by this stream. There's this ever-flowing stream of water that supposedly is supposed to be giving me life. This promise of prosperity in all seasons. I said, okay, well, maybe there's something there. What does that mean? And I want to offer you this. Psalm 1 suggests that the tree bears fruit when? In its season. And at the same time, it declares that it prospers in all that it does. But it only bears fruit in its season. So if there is a fruit-bearing season, there is a non-fruit-bearing season. And in that non-fruit-bearing season, this scripture is suggesting that I'm supposed to call that prosperity. I'm supposed to call that well-being. Not because of what I've done, not because of what I have created, but to who I am connected to. This is what I want you to know, practitioners, is that there will be times in your ministry where you will do everything that you are supposed to do. And you will not see the fruit. But I don't want you to give up. Because there is a season coming. And it's your season. It's your community season. If you look at this tree, as I was preparing for this, I was reading up on how does this even work? And what I learned is that, when a tree is planted by some water, we know that it has roots, of course, and that those roots are always sort of drinking, right? They're bringing water from that river. But during the winter times, there's still life happening. The tree is preparing to bear fruit. Right? It's living so that it is prepared for its season. And so sometimes in our ministry, we're not called to do incredible things. We're called to just live, to just be.